honestly don't know why I'm doing this. I just felt like being a little bit weird with a tier list today. So what I have here is every single Super Smash Bros. Game. I just wanted to make this video to kind of show off that I'm one of the cool people that has all this, but as well, I don't know, I thought it was just kind of cool to just do. I don't know. I kind of like making these floor videos once in a while. Which definitely makes this channel a lot more of a rip-off of Scott's Stash. Which it honestly definitely is at this point. Its only saving grace is Toad covers. So, yippee for me. But yeah, this is kind of like a tier list of the sorts. I guess I'll just make up little tiers along the way. I don't know. I thought that was just kind of cool to just kind of rank them on my floor, and then I could kind of like move this camera around whenever I got everything completed. I don't know. I thought that it would be kind of a fun idea, so I'll just grab all this. Then we could start with the original Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. This is the most like recent Smash Bros. Game I got. Mostly because I just recently got a Nintendo 64. Finally, I hit the camera. Okay. So yeah, I've recently just got this. I played the original before through like the Wii Virtual Console. And the closest experience I got to the original game was through that on a CRT TV, because the Wii is able to be plugged into a CRT TV because of AV cables and stuff. But yeah, yeah, that's the closest experience I ever got to original hardware, but now I can do that because I have an actual Nintendo 64 with the original controller and everything. Previously, with the Wii Virtual Console, I would just use the GameCube controller and classic controller for some things. But I mostly just use the classic controller for like Super Nintendo games because it's practically a Super Nintendo controller, just with some joysticks at the bottom. But yeah, now that I finally played it, on like original hardware, it's honestly like really special in my opinion. Like, it just feels right. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like just the average retro gamer, like, response to anything. If you're playing it on original hardware, it just feels right. And that's all I got to really say about this. But as an actual, like, Super Smash Bros. Game, it's definitely, like, not the greatest, but it's definitely a good start in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Like, of course, like, it started the series, and it got, like, a sequel later on, so yeah, clearly it was successful enough. Yeah, it only has 12 characters, 8 that you start out with, and 4 unlockables, and most of those unlockable characters are practically clones of other characters, except for Ness, I think. But honestly, other than the really lame character selection, honestly, every character in this game feels like they deserve to be there. Like, sure, a couple of them were obviously, like, rush jobs. Like, Luigi, yeah, but Luigi just makes sense. Jigglypuff, I'd say, would be the most, but honestly, I kind of like Jigglypuff, so it just makes sense. But for Super Smash Bros. As a whole, like the original 64, I guess, I don't know, what tier would it be considered? It's not an F tier, because it's not a bad game at all. It's just, like, very outdated, because the gameplay isn't, like, the greatest it can be, and all that, and there's not the side specials, there's not up throws and down throws, and there's not, I don't believe there's dodging in the air, like air dodges, whatever you call it, and there's just a very small character selection, so I don't know. It's not a bad game at all. It started a great series. So maybe, I guess I consider this, like, maybe, like, high D tier, low C tier. So yeah, there you go. That's where Super Smash Bros. For the 64 is going. And next we got Melee. This is like the, pretty sure it would be my third Smash Bros. Game, fourth Super Smash Bros. Game I ever got. And yeah, comparing it to the original 64 version, in just 2 years, they went crazy with this game. Added so many new characters, improved the gameplay, like, significantly, and clearly, and honestly, they never really recreated that until, like, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And even then, Melee is still, like, a little bit better, in my opinion, for actual fighting gameplay-wise. And the content that they added on top of that is just incredible. Like, you have, like, all these extra bonus side modes. The adventure mode is really cool. Of course, I have my own, like, downsides to it. Like, there's too much battles in it compared to the actual fun levels. But there's also, like, gambling in here as well through the trophies. And yeah, just a really great sequel to an already great fighting game. Now, I do find it weird that it's a teen game, but I don't know. I guess things were different back in 2001 and 2008. Or is this the 2008? I never knew if Super Smash Bros. Was actually 2008. I can't tell because the box art, I don't think, tells me. Never mind, it's right there. Okay, so it is released in 2008. Or maybe it might be this 2009. I don't know. It could be either one. But there you go. It's a teen-rated game, so little children are not allowed playing this incredible game. Who honestly cares? Who actually listens to the teen rating? It's probably why there's barely any games that have a teen rating anymore, because no one really cares about it. But yeah, it's just a really great sequel in my opinion. And now, so Super Smash Bros. Would be in low C, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, come on, just for the gameplay alone, that can go up in, like, S tier. Like, come on. Just for the gameplay and the amount of stuff it improved compared to the original 64 game, that's an easy S tier right there. And, come on. I'm not that dumb when it comes to Super Smash Bros. Opinions. Now, once we include Brawl into the process, I freaking love Brawl. This isn't my first Super Smash Bros. Game. My first Smash Bros. Game was for the 3DS, and then my second one would be Ultimate. And Brawl is my favorite Super Smash Bros. Game, so you already know it's going, like, in S tier as well, but above Melee. But it's not really about the gameplay to me at all. Like, sure, the gameplay is definitely a lot worse, and definitely is to some people the worst in the entire series. Or, I guess that's what most people think anyways. And I understand that completely, because it's a lot slower, the tripping happens, and it's just kind of, yeah, I get that. But from what I experienced, I only tripped like a couple times in this game. Mostly because I'm not really a competitive kind of person anyway, so yeah, that's why I think that Super Smash Bros. Brawl is so high. I'm not really a competitive Smash Bros. Player. I keep on hitting the damn camera, what the hell? Okay, anyways. Yeah, so Super Smash Bros. Brawl, although that Melee is definitely like a bigger step up to like its previous game, and Brawl isn't as much as a big step to Melee, if you kind of know where I'm getting at. Like, this to this was a big jump, but this to this isn't really. So yeah, that's, yeah, but this game introduced like so much. It basically expanded on Melee's work when it comes to extra bonus content. It has more trophies, of course. It has new fighters, and it introduced third-party characters like Sonic and Snake. Like, that's incredible right there. It has the Subspace Emissary, which was the greatest story mode. And yeah, of course. Don't worry about that cough. And Subspace Emissary is just, like, really good in my opinion. I love the Subspace Emissary. Of course, it's, like, basically just a bunch of characters just walking into each other, and there's none, no voice acting at all, I don't think. Like, there's the typical, like, fighter sounds that the game already includes, but I don't think there's any, like, massive voice acting. Maybe for, I believe maybe in one of Pit's cutscene, I think Palutena must have said something. I don't know, something like that, even though that you can't play as Palutena in this game. I think something like that, but honestly, the way that these characters interacted with each other was really great, and I love the Subspace Emissary for that. But yeah, as well, this game includes like the masterpieces, which is just demos of some of Nintendo's retro titles. It came with like 64 games, Super Nintendo games, NES games, basically referencing a bunch of different characters. And I believe in Japan, the Japanese version of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I think has a demo of Earthbound, or in that case, Mother 2, which was honestly like, I kind of wish that there would be a demo of Earthbound in this version. I think that'd be really cool. And I can't believe that Earthbound was never released on Virtual Console for the Wii, so I find that really... what the hell? Very interesting, because I'm pretty sure Mystery Wada talked about that in like E3 during the Wii, right? Like the introduction of the Wii? Like talking about Earthbound or something? I'm pretty sure he did. So yeah, I would put Super Smash Bros. Brawl in the top of S tier. Just because I like... for me, a Super Smash Bros. Has to have like more bonus content, or like really good bonus content over the fighting, because Super Smash Bros., in my opinion, is not just about the actual fighting, it's more of the, like, you know, the celebration of video games as a whole, or like Nintendo games, video games, whatever you want. With the introduction of third-party characters in Brawl, it's practically video games as a whole. So yeah, don't mind me just reorganizing this stuff, I'm just really picky about this. But next we got Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, and then of course the Wii U. But these are basically two separate games. Let me explain. Just because that they have like different content. Of course, like the main thing is that they do have the same roster of characters, but both of these games have different things. So there's different stages in Smash for 3DS. I'm pretty sure there was an entire exclusive DLC stage in the Wii U version. I'm pretty sure it was Pirate Ship from Brawl, which was the Wind Waker stage. And everything else was shared across both 3DS and Wii U. They had the same stages. Maybe a couple like stage hazards was different, like with Midgard, for example, with the Cloud DLC. And that's really about it. Everything else is just practically the same, I guess, for gameplay-wise. Like, I think the only difference is 3DS doesn't have, like, swimming or something. I think you just fall through the water. I don't really remember. I think it's something small like that. And, yeah, I guess the fact that the Wii U version kinda got done dirty in a way because of the 3DS version, like, I'm pretty sure the Ice Climbers could have got into this game if it wasn't for the 3DS version. But I understand with them trying to make like two Smash Brothers games for both of these consoles and call them like different games. I get it why they didn't make entirely different games, because they were being released around the same time, but at that point you could have just like waited. But I guess the gameplay would still be kind of similar because they wouldn't have that much time, and yeah, you can't make them the same exact game because people would still buy the 3DS version more than the Wii U version, except I'm pretty sure this still sold more because the 3DS was more successful than the Wii U anyway. So I understand why they did this in the first place. But yeah, the 3DS version is different because of the different stages, and the Smash Run, which is a little side mode that's kind of like Kirby Air Ride, but for Super Smash Bros., which is really cool. I really like that mode. Now, there's like randomized battles at the end after when everyone's done collecting like their stats and stuff. A different type of battle happens every time, which is kind of weird. I think that just a regular Smash Bros. Fight would work just fine. But honestly, it's fun as is. I really like it. And, the classic mode in this game is pretty good. Like, honestly, I'd say it's way better than the Wii U version, and definitely, like, one of the best versions of classic mode as a whole, because it's still randomized. You just get this options of different paths that make you feel like that you're doing something, but honestly, it doesn't really. It's still kind of all randomized, but now you can have the feeling that you're doing 3 randomized runs at once. and sometimes they give you different gold coins to spend on trophies. And there's another thing. Both of these games have different trophies for some reason, like... What? Don't mind me, I'm just like dusting shelves at the same time, like what the hell is wrong with me? And this was my first Super Smash Bros. Game, so of course I'm going to be a little bit biased. I keep on hitting the camera. I'm not really made to do these kinds of videos. But yeah, even though that this is my first Super Smash Bros. Game, it's definitely not an S-tier game at all, in my opinion. So I'd say like I would consider this like a B-tier game, or maybe like a high C, only because it's the 3DS version. But honestly, the 3DS version is really underrated. Like, this version of the game is really overhated in my opinion, so I'll give it a high B. Now for the Wii U version. Of course, this is a lot better than the 3DS for, like, gameplay-wise, because it brings back swimming. It's more HD, of course, like, you can actually see what you're doing. But you can still see what you're doing here. The advantage of the 3DS version is the fact that it has a 3D effect, and honestly, I kind of like the 3D effect in that. I'm one of those weird people that likes the 3D effect on the 3DS. But anyways, this is all about the Wii U version. So, the Wii U version, once again, has different stages, different trophies, and the same characters, and the same gameplay, basically. So, honestly, the Wii U version, it's just kind of for me. I mean, I understand why most people like it, because it's the better version of that for gameplay, but for actual content-wise, I feel like it's very lacking for a console Super Smash Bros. Game. Like, for 3DS, it's a great handheld Super Smash Bros. Of course, it's going to be lacking in content. It's a handheld game, so, you know what, I'll cut it some slack. And I guess that's the one little biasness thing that happens here. The Wii U version is basically just the 3DS version, but with slightly altered stuff, but it has the same amount of content for a console version. And this is like the first HD Super Smash Bros. Game, and all of the like older stages, like returning stages, something like On It, or Onet, or Want, whatever you want to call it, from Super Smash Bros. Melee, still looks like the original Super Smash Bros. Melee version, or even the Brawl upgrade, but now it's just in HD and you don't see those little pixely mistakes anymore. Like, the 3DS version was fine to return some stages because you can't really notice it, because, you know, it's a handheld, it's less powerful, you can have those little, the lower resolution can kind of like hide those mistakes that this can't do because it's an HD console. And it's just very, very lame. Although I do kind of respect all the different like controllers you can use for this thing. Like, this is insane. You can use the Wii U gamepad, you can use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, you can use the Wii U Pro controller, you can use the Classic Controller Pro, and I guess technically the Classic Controller, I believe. I'm not too sure if this game supports the Wii Remote on its side like Brawl did. I'm pretty sure it does. And then you can bring back the GameCube controller. It's absolutely insane on how many controllers you can use, and it's just really insane. And of course, the amiibo support, I forgot to really mention that. And as well, you can freaking use the 3DS too. You can link the 3DS as a controller to maybe like transfer like Mii characters over and stuff. Like, that's the intended purpose, but you can use the 3DS as a controller. And as well, like every type of 3DS as well. The 2DS, the new 3DS, it's just insane on how many controllers you can use for it. And I got some major respect for the game for that. But as an entire like package, I think I would consider 3DS better, because it's like, oh, it actually takes advantage of the fact that it's a handheld, so I get it why there's not as much content. And as well, it's not like people are actually going to be grinding the 3DS version that much. They only just play it here and there on the go. Like, that's the entire purpose of a handheld game. And 3DS did that perfectly. The Wii U is just very lacking for a console game. Like, once we talk about this is a lot better. But yeah, there's my opinion on Smash Brothers for Wii U. I would honestly consider it a little bit worse than the 3DS version. It's still on the same tier, like it's still on B tier. I believe this is B tier, right? Yeah, C, B, and then S, and then I'll probably slip in the A tier around here somewhere. So maybe this is where B tier is going, so it's gonna be slightly off to the side. There you go, there's S tier, and there's C tier. Very weird setup. So there you go. Now, the current most newest Super Smash Bros. Game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is like the kind of like the celebration Super Smash Bros. Game. Like, it takes everything from the previous games and then just slaps it on here. Mostly for fighters. And the majority of the stages from each game. Like, not all the stages, but at least kind of like the highlights of each game comes back here. And honestly, it's good. Like, very good. At the time before I played Brawl, this was my favorite Smash Bros. Game. Yo, what the hell was that? Fixed it. And as well, there's like lots of DLC characters. Of course, the 3DS and Wii U version did introduce the idea of DLC characters, but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the DLC characters were kind of like the anybody can make it into a Super Smash Bros. Now kind of thing, while this just made it, I don't know, whatever we can get. And take advantage of making me bring back returning characters. Every DLC character in this game is incredible. Of course, I may have like some complaints about it, with some of them being a waste of a slot, like Piranha Plant. But I find that more of like a joke kind of thing, like, okay, we had extra time and we'll just make a DLC. It used to be free when it first launched, I believe. Or maybe like something like a pre-order bonus with the Smash Ultimate, I don't know, something like that. And then of course I have like my complaints about Sora. Not that I really respect the Kingdom Hearts series, but it's just like, you could have done a little bit better for the fighter. The way that Sora is represented here is like, I don't know, the moveset just kind of sucks. He's kind of like, takes the most annoying thing from each annoying character, and then just makes it an annoying character to go against. But other than that, I do understand, like, it's a very great inclusion. Like, he's one of the biggest gaming icons for an entire generation. Of course, I'm not a part of that generation at all, but I totally respect Sora being a part of the Super Smash Bros. Series, and now Disney is connected to here. And thank God Disney didn't buy Nintendo, because it would probably be worse than it already is. It would be even more of a monopoly than Nintendo already is. But anyways, I'm getting kind of off topic with that. Super Smash Bros. As a whole is the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a whole is the ultimate Super Smash Bros. Game. It includes every fighter, including all the clone characters. They even make new clone characters. They even make like new characters as a whole, like, that deserve to be represented even in the Wii U version. And now they're finally here. Like, there you go. Like, the Splatoon Inkling, I feel like should have been in the Wii U version, but I'm not sure if like the Splatoon launched before Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, so but you should have made it like a DLC character at that point. But this basically kind of fixed everything. Like, there you go, Inkling's finally here. They're gonna bring back everyone. They even have the Breath of the Wild Link, which was honestly really, really cool. Just a lot of great stuff that this game has done. And of course, in my opinion, the new stages that got introduced in this game, minus the DLC stages, were kind of lame. And some of the DLC stages at that are kind of lame. Like, they're very simple in design, but the art style behind them is like really, really good. And I don't know, it's kind of like hard to describe this game. Like, what else am I supposed to say other than it's the ultimate Smash Brothers game? But honestly, it doesn't really have like a good story mode. The World of Light is fine, but it's just like a flat piece of crap like Smash Tour was on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Also, by the way, this classic mode that's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, it sucks. And the classic mode in this game was honestly really cool. Like, each character got their own like classic mode as based around them. And the spirits are honestly like really cool, but also really lame at the same time. Like, the fights are really fun. Like, definitely my favorite part about the spirits is the fights. Now, the actual spirits as a whole are lame. I really preferred the trophies from every other Smash Brothers game, or the little, like, what do you call it, information about every character in Smash 64. Like, all of these games did it better to represent everybody. For a Smash Ultimate, it's just little PNGs of everyone, while in the other Smash Brothers game, it's full 3D models that were made originally, or with this game in mind. Like, I find that a lot cooler. And there's actual, like, information about each character. Spirits don't have any information for the character it's from, or the game it's from that it's trying to represent. It just does none of that, and it's just a PNG. It's honestly really lame, and that's the lamest part about Smash Bros. Ultimate, is the representation of spirits. Like, I feel like that you can still call them spirits, but maybe have this, like, 3D model trophy still, but maybe have these, like, little glittery glows or something, and make them, like, transparent to represent the fact they are still a spirit, and you can still have a really cool 3D model out of it, especially with the transparency with a little glitter effect on top. So yeah, and honestly, Smash Brothers for Smash Brothers Ultimate, I give it an A tier. So there you go. In C tier, we got Smash Brothers 64. In B tier, at the bottom, we got the Wii U version and the 3DS version. And then in A tier, we got Smash Ultimate. And then in S tier, we got Melee at the bottom and Brawl at the top. There's my little ranking video. I'm sure I have, like, some really... I probably made, like, a bunch of Melee fans angry just because I ranked Brawl over Melee. But I don't care. I like the bonus content of anything compared to the gameplay. And honestly, the gameplay could have been worse. And there you go. That's my little ranking thing. I'll see you next time, I guess. Bye.